Hi guys, I'm home alone for the first time in like ages, so I thought I'd do that shoot on Toile. So Toile is not specific for sewer cosplayers, it can also be used for armour. Now every time someone, posts something about using baking paper instead of Toile, to make up their mock-ups for their pattern pieces, whether armour or sewing or whatever, I just cringe and think, why don't you know about Toile? Toile is like the most wonderful thing in the world. Toile is known as like a base mock-up for a pattern, but it's also referred to as the fabric that I make my pattern pieces out of. And it looks like this. So it's kind of see-through and it's about $2 a metre, and you can get it at Spotlight with the interfacing. It is really wide. It's probably maybe $1.20 m wide, and you can buy it in the meters. So I get about 10 meters, it cost me 20 bucks, and I can make really, really big pattern pieces out of it. Now, why would you use Toile instead of your normal pattern pieces? Well, in graphic design, we're always told to keep our master copy completely without alteration. And the same should be said for your pattern pieces. So when you get a pattern such as this, you should always cut around the entire piece. So no way do you do your size. You cut the whole piece out and then you trace that piece onto Toile. Now, why should you keep this clean without modifications? For certain reasons. You might change your size, and you can make alterations to that. So instead of altering your tissue paper pattern piece, you alter it on your Toile. So it's an extra step, but you get out your Toile and then you trace over it using your carbon paper and your little wheelie gig thing, or you can just draw it with pencil, making sure you transfer all your markings, like all your dots, all your notches and everything on that pattern piece, label it, say what size it is and things like that. And this also means you can blend. So this is a bad example of this pattern piece, but it fits nicely and is easy to deal with. So say that you, kind of in the bust area or the waist area or the hip area, you go from like a size 12 around the bust, but you're a size 10 in the waist, you can actually merge those things onto your pattern piece and seamlessly, merge them onto your Toile. And that way you keep your tissue paper pattern piece pristine and you do all your alterations on Toile. So you can do many different alterations onto your Toile pieces and do multiple Toiles, but you keep your tissue paper absolutely clean, and there's no drawing on that or anything else. Another good reason why it's good to do your Toiles is for this. Little people, because they grow up, and that means that you can do a different size, whether small, medium, large, whatever, multiple times, because you've kept all the tissue paper in its pristine condition and just trace that off on your Toile. So it's not just for sewing, but everyone should be making Toiles. And if you think, oh my god, another step, it's worthwhile, because my Siri was developed from the blouse that came with this McCall's pattern, and obviously Siri's blouse does not look like that. This has big puffy sleeves, and the neckline's different. But I can reuse this blouse for whatever I want because I've traced that original pattern piece onto Toile. And that's why Toile is just such the greatest thing ever. And it gives you the flexibility that baking paper wouldn't give you. So for those armourers or those people that are doing a fitting, you can actually sew your Toile pieces together to make a mock garment, and then you can make alterations, lines, pencil markings on it, and it's as cheap as chips, so you don't need calico or whatever, because this works just the same. And you can pin things together. So for the armourers out there that are doing masking tape or that kind of thing, try Toile. Well, not masking tape dummies, but when you trace it onto baking paper, try Toile, because it will form better to your body because it's more like a fabric, and you can pin it into place and it folds nice and neat, and it's lightweight, and it'll save you a bunch of trips to Woolworths to get baking paper, because it's like double, triple the width, and you can get it by the meter, and it's just so much better. So everyone should embrace Toile, okay? It's one of the things that people just don't know about, and I didn't know about till I went to my sewing classes. So there you have it, what I consider one of the fundamental core things, whatever you're doing with cosplay, because our patterns, they're not 100% accurate, and you're going to have to alter them anyway. And the best way of doing that and getting your money's worth out of your pattern pieces is to trace them off. And the other thing you can do, if you're really, really savvy, is trace off your pattern pieces, photocopy your instructions, and then resell this online. I mean, one of the things I should say to everyone is never buy patterns full price. At Spotlight, they're always having sales. You just have to make sure you're there regularly, which I am. And you should never pay more than $5 for a pattern. Just saying, because Spotlight always has sales. They've got one 3 for $15 now, so $5. And they also have 2 for $10 all the time. And this, sometimes it's Vogue patterns, sometimes it's McCall's, Butterick, all your pattern pieces, you can get them for cheap. And if you're really, really stingy, you just photocopy all the instructions, trace off all your tissue paper in your size that you want, and then on-sell this on eBay. So yeah, people really need to embrace Toile. It's not just a sewing thing, it's an everything thing. So there you go, guys. My secret weapon in cosplay is the just added step of tracing everything off. Any questions? Nope. Well, I'll leave that there. I wanted a quick and easy tutorial thing, just saying, oh my god, everyone needs to know about this Toile thing, because it's just awesome. And I think that covers it. So thanks everyone for watching, the few people, but yeah, thanks, bye.